The Hobbit, Part 1, by J.R.R. Tolkien. In a hole in the ground there lived a hobbit. Not a nasty, dirty, wet hole filled with ends of worms and mouldy smell, nor yet a dry, bare, sandy hole with nothing in it to sit down on or to eat. It was a hobbit hole, and that means comfort. It had a perfectly round door like a porthole, painted green, with a shiny yellow brass knob in the exact middle. The door opened onto a tube-shaped hall like a tunnel, a very comfortable tunnel without smoke, with paneled walls and floors tiled and carpeted, provided with polished chairs and lots of pegs for hats and coats. The hobbit was fond of visitors. He was a very well-to-do hobbit, and his name was Baggins, Bilbo Baggins. He was about 50 years old or so, and had lived in the beautiful hobbit hole in what was called Bag End for many years, and had, in fact, apparently settled down immovably. By some curious chance, one morning long ago in the quiet of the world, when there was less noise and more gleam, and the hobbits were still numerous and prosperous, Bilbo Baggins was standing at his door after breakfast, smoking an enormous long wooden pipe that reached nearly down to his woolly toes, when an old man with a staff came by. He had a tall, pointed blue hat, a long gray cloak, a silver scarf over which a white beard hung down below his waist, and immense black boots. Good morning.
What do you mean? Do you wish me a good morning, or that it is a good morning whether I want it or not, or that you feel good this morning, or that it is a morning to be good on?
All of them at once, and a very fine morning for a pipe of tobacco out of doors into the bargain. If you have a pipe about you, sit down and have a fill of my pipe weed. There's no hurry. We have all day before us to blow grey rings of smoke.
Very pretty. But I've no time to blow smoke rings this morning. I'm looking for someone to share in an adventure that I'm arranging, and it's very difficult to find anyone.
I would take an adventure with Darnell. It'd be great.
We're plain, quiet folk and have no use for adventures. Nasty, disturbing, uncomfortable things make you late for dinner. I can't think what anybody sees in them. We don't want any adventures here, thank you. Good morning.
What a lot of things you use good morning for. Now you mean that you want to get rid of me, and that it won't be a good morning till I move off.
Not at all, my dear sir. Let me see. I don't think I know your name.
I know your name, Mr.
Get away from those spiders.
Baggins.
No spiders.
And you know my name, though you don't remember that I belong to it. I am Gandalf. To think that I should have lived to be good morning by Belladonna Took's son, as if I was selling buttons at the door.
Gandalf, good gracious me,
not the
wandering wizard that used to make such particularly excellent fireworks.
What's a pyros?
Not the Gandalf who was responsible for so many quiet lads and lasses going off on mad adventures, anything from climbing trees to visiting elves or sailing ships to other shores. Bless me, I beg your pardon, but I had no idea you were still in business.
Now, where else should I be? Well, I'm pleased to find you remembering something about me. Indeed, for your old grandfather Took's sake, and for the sake of poor Belladonna, your mother, I'll give you what you asked for.
Who would name a hobbit Belladonna?
Twice now, my pardon. I give it to you. In fact, I'll go so far as to send you on this adventure. Very amusing for me, very good for you, and profitable too.
The cedar trees are nice.
You ever get over it.
Sorry, I don't want any
think we have them around
thank
here.
you. Not today. Good morning. But please come to tea anytime you like. Why not tomorrow?
We have laurel
Come
trees.
tomorrow.
Laurel, and they have the best smell in the world.
What did I ask you to
tree.
tea for?
I think I'd better have a cake or two and something to drink. Ooh, what a fight!
Gandalf,
One of my favorite
in the
trees.
meantime, was still standing
Redwood has got to be my
outside the
favorite,
door
though.
and laughing long but quietly. After a while, he stepped up, and with the spike of
Good name
his
for a
staff,
stealth
scratched a
fairy.
queer sign on the
That just
hobbit's
makes
beautiful
sense.
green front door, and he strode away. The next day, Bilbo had almost forgotten about Gandalf.
Oh, that is nice.
Things very well.
They're splendid trees. A lot of them in the Santa Cruz Mountains. On a hot day, they smell so good.
Flustered yesterday to do anything of the kind. Just before tea time, there came a tremendous ring on the front doorbell. And then he remembered. He rushed to put on the kettle and put out another cup and saucer and an extra cake or two and ran to the door.
Oh, I'm sorry to keep you waiting.
Oh, yeah.
Roland, at your service.
Bay laurels are the best. These are the best trees. Well, for climbing, they're good climbing trees.
Pray come and have some.
Redwoods, not so much.
Thank you. Oh, excuse me. So you have got here at last.
I see.
Laurel leaves, you know.
Already. That's Dwalin's green hood hanging up. Balin at your service.
Oh, thank you. Come along in and have some tea.
A little beer would suit me better if it's all the same to you, my good sir. But I don't mind some cake. Seed cake, if you have any.
Lots. Oh, what did he mean they have begun to arrive?
I've had parties like
that's
that.
That's Gandalf for certain this time. Here's the beer and cake. Excuse me while I answer the door.
Yeah. I had a girlfriend who was going to the store to buy bay leaves, and she's walking right by a bay tree. I could just look up. Look up.
Darling and Bala here already, I see.
What?
Let's join the throng.
Right there, you're buying them.
Throng? I don't like the sound of that. I really
Bayberries,
must sit down
yeah.
for a minute and collect my wits and have a drink. Somebody at the door.
Hey, Matt, how you doing?
Besides, we saw them coming along behind us.
We're listening to The Hobbit and looking at bubbles. Juniper berries, they do smell good.
Well, it's not.
They're great for the gin.
After all, it's 5.
At your service. Sorry. And long.
This is the most awkward Wednesday I can remember.
Yeah, it's a good night for that, Matt. I'm trying to do exactly the same thing with limited success.
Carefully.
Hey, Peter, I'm doing okay, thank you. Hope you're doing well, too.
Then open the door like a pop gun. Introduce Biffa, Bofa, Bomba, and especially Laurie.
This is a very good radio play.
I'm sorry.
I think I heard it for the first time. It's probably 15, the first time ever broadcast, that, to my knowledge. Well, it's BBC, but it was in California. I'd already read The Hobbit, so.
Something left for the latecomers to eat and drink.
Yeah, I like the bubbles.
What's that tea? Oh, no, thank you. A little red wine, I think.
That's true.
And for me.
Raspberry jam and apple tart.
And mince pie and cheese.
And pork pie and shatter.
And more cake. And ale. And coffee, if you don't mind. Put on a few eggs.
I like evening in the desert for that reason. When they close down, you have to go outside, really. Or I never had AC. I could never afford AC because running those things got really expensive.
Gandalf sat at the head of the party with the 13 dwarves all.
It was nice to walk around at night at that
And Bilbo
temperature.
sat on a stool at the fireside, nibbling at a biscuit.
There
His
you go,
appetite
Darnell.
was quite taken away, trying to look as if this was all perfectly ordinary. And
We're all
not the
behaving
least adventure.
ourselves,
The dwarves
winding
ate
down,
and ate and
listening at
talked
bubbles.
and talked, and time got on.
I suppose you'll all stay to supper?
Of course. And after. We shan't get through the business till later, and we must have some music first. Bring out the instruments.
Excuse me, I left mine on the floor.
Well, just bring mine in with you.
The dwarves are bossy, and they're kind of gluttons. They break stuff. They don't break anything in this book. They threaten to. They don't. They don't chip things. Hobbit karaoke? Yeah, around. Or they're dwarves. I've never been fond of elves. I'm a dwarf kind of guy myself. Ah, it is. See? Good evening for coffee too. I don't know what time it is for you. I never remember. Oh boy. Yeah. I have no time with idea what time it is right now. 10:43 or something. I don't know. PM. Hey, Swanee. Hey. Yeah, little Hobbit time, little Bubbles time. Bubbles and Hobbits, dwarves, and the like. Yeah, everybody should sub everybody. It's a good idea. You love sausage. I wish I had some sausage. All I had was some cheesy rice. Very hot. Spicy. I haven't been eating enough, so it's good to get something in my system. A bunch of vitamins too. It's not enough, but I'll buy some food someday. Maybe, I guess. Oh, cool. I like ferns a lot. Ferns are soothing to the eyeballs. I wish my meds would kick in, but they're not doing a job. Oh, darn them. Took them late.
Made by hands and by cunning and by magic, moving through him the fierce and jealous love, the desire of the hearts of dwarves. Then something tookish woke up inside him,
Something
and
tookish.
he wished to go and see the great mountains and explore the caves and wear a sword instead of a walking stick. He looked out of the window. The stars were out in the dark sky above the trees. He thought of the jewels of the dwarves shining in dark caverns. Suddenly, in the wood beyond the water, a flame leapt up. Probably somebody lighting a wood fire. And
There's an area in Big Sur called Ferndale, and it's just a sea of ferns. Very beautiful.
And very quickly he was playing Mr. Baggins of Bag End again. He got up trembling. He had less than half a mind to fetch a lamp, and more than half a mind to pretend to, and go and hide behind the beer barrels in the cellar, and not come out again until all the dwarves had gone away.
Hide behind the beer barrels. I think I've done that. Or
they were all
passed on them. One or the other.
with eyes shining.
It's all one.
Where are you going?
What about a little light?
We like the dark.
Dark for dark business.
There are many hours before
The
dawn.
dark for dark business. I like
Now
that.
let Thorin speak.
Gandalf, Dwarves and Mr. Baggins, we are met together in the house of our friend and fellow conspirator, this most excellent
I'm only doing
hobbit.
chapters this night. Oh boy, no, I guess I'm not.
With wine and
What's this fellow conspirator?
The raccoon plague.
We are met to discuss our plans.
Sure is, Leonard.
Ways, means, policy,
The Hobbit
devices.
radio
We
play.
shall soon, before the break of day, start on
I recommend it.
our journey. The journey from
It's giving
which
people a little
some of
taste.
us, or perhaps all of us, may never return. It is a solemn
Foxtails are pretty. I like ferns
Our object
lot.
is, I take it, well
because they're
known
ferns.
to us all.
I believe he's fainted. Strike a light, somebody. Excitable little fellow.
Yeah, I've been
But he's one of the best.
I've been going
One
through
of
the all the
bestest, fiercest
Hobbit and the
of
trilogy once a year for since
Why, his
when I was
ancestor
15, and I'm really old now.
charged the ranks of the goblins of Mount Graham in the Battle of the Green Fields and knocked their King Goldfimble's head clean off with a wooden club. He sailed 100 yards through the air.
Ferns are a
and
delight
went
to the
down.
eye.
And in this way,
They're
the battle was
fragile,
won,
they're just
and the
yeah,
game of golf
nice.
invented at the same moment. Well, one streak like that in a moment of excitement.
I've slept in the ferns many a time. Good camouflage for old hobos.
As soon as I clapped eyes on the little fellow bobbing and puffing on the mat, I had my doubts. He looks more like a grocer than a
It's more like a
burglar.
grocer.
I think he's coming too.
Well, I don't look like a grocer.
That's right. Let's have no more.
Nothing wrong with grocers.
I've chosen Mr. Baggins, and that ought to be enough for all of you. You asked me to find the 14th man for your expedition, and I chose Mr. Baggins. You can stop at 13 if you like and have all the bad luck, or go back to digging coal.
I like people who tend the produce aisles. If they do a good job, they're spraying it properly and arranging it and calling out the bad fruit.
Expert treasure hunter instead of burglar, if you like. Yes,
Cool.
there's a lot more in him than you guess. A
Yeah.
deal more than he has any idea of himself.
That research is pretty important.
All live to thank me. Yes.
Hey, Levi, how you doing?
Now, Bilbo, fetch the lamp and let's have a little light on
Yeah,
this map.
yeah.
This was made
Yeah,
by
Creator,
Thor,
just
your grandfather.
Smoking coffee and cigarettes, it's
It's
just
a
nothing
man
like it.
of the mountain.
I don't see that this will help us much.
Yeah, it's not
I
really
know
hurt.
the mountain well enough and the lands about it. And I know where Mirkwood is and the withered heath where the great dragons breed.
The place where I used to camp was very much by the Mirkwood at night. Boy, you could get lost or break your neck very easily.
Without that, if ever we arrive there, there's one point that you haven't noticed, and that's the secret entrance.
At night, it was not a
It
pleasant
may have been
forest.
secret once, but how do we know that it's secret any longer? Old Smog has lived there long enough now to find out anything there is to know about those caves.
He may, but he can't have used it for years and years. Why? Because it's too small. 5 feet high in the door, and 3 may walk
Yeah.
say the rooms on the map.
Yeah, I
Smog
respect that,
could
Creator.
creep into a
I
hole
should, but I
outside
never will.
when he was a young
It's just-
certainly not after devouring so many of the dwarves and men a day.
It seems a great big hole to me. How could such a large door be kept secret from everybody outside apart from the dragon?
I know, but I've read the book a million times.
From what it says on the map, I should guess there's a closed
Yeah.
door which has been made.
Yeah, Swanee, Swinner's a drag.
That's the usual dwarves method. That's right.
Bougainvillea.
Right. Also, I forgot to
Bougainville.
mention
It's a
that with the map went
southeast island that is a very unpleasant place, by the way.
curious key.
Especially when the Japanese invaded it. got really-
Here it is.
Very
Keep
unpleasant.
it safe, Corin.
Indeed, I will. Well, now things begin to look more hopeful. Supposing our burglar expert gives us some ideas or suggestions.
First, I should like to know a bit more about things. I mean, about the gold and the dragon and all that, and how it got there, and who it belongs belongs to, and so on and further.
Belongs to a dragon who stole it.
Got a map? And didn't you hear our song? And haven't we been talking about all this for hours?
All the
A very
same,
eloquent
I should
travel
like
dragon, as I
everything plain and
recall.
clear. I should like to know about
Should.
risks, out-of-pocket expenses, time required, and remuneration, and so forth.
Well, he wants to know what he's going to get out of it, and if he'll come back alive.
Very well.
Oh, cool, David.
Long
Levi,
ago,
good.
in my grandfather Thror's time, our family was driven out of the far north and came back with all their wealth and their tools to this mountain on the map. They mined and they tunneled and they made huge halls and great workshops. And in addition, I believe they found a good deal of gold and a great many jewels, too. Anyway, they grew immensely rich and
Avarice,
famous.
avarice.
My grandfather was king under the mountain again. His halls became full of armor, jewels, and carving
Cool.
cups, and the toy market of Dale. That was
One of my
nearby by
ex's
Morgan was the wonder of
neighbors, not really a friend,
Undoubtedly,
grows
Oh,
milk,
yes,
it's not
that
milk
was
thistle,
what
whatever it
brought
is,
the
stuff that
dragon.
attracts monarchs. We have monarchs in this area. They pop up and it brings bees like crazy. A lot of bees.
Wherever they can find them.
I'm always happy to see a lot of bees in the area. That makes the
which is practically forever.
world is having a good day of it.
Never enjoy a brass ring of it. Now, there was a most specially
Luckily, I'm not
greedy, strong,
allergic, so.
and wicked worm called Small.
Bees generally avoid me.
One day, he
I think I've been
flew
stung
up into the air and came
twice,
south.
3 times.
The first we heard of it was a noise like a hurricane coming from the north, and the pine trees on the mountain creaking and cracking in the wind. Well, from a good way off, we saw the dragon settle on our mountain in a spout of flame. Then he came down the slopes, and when he reached the woods, they all went up in fire. By that time, all the bells were ringing in Dale, and the warriors were arming, and the
Yeah, my
dwarves
rich
rushed out
hobo
to the
genetics
gate.
fends off
There was
allergies.
the
I don't get those
dragon
things. Except for
waiting.
English ivy, I
Not
despise
one
that.
escaped.
And it's only if I get the sap on me, the dust.
The river rushed
Nasty
up in
stuff.
steam, and the fog fell on Dale.
Yeah, Trader, there's a couple of the reasons. There's, they had done a lot of research into bee kills. It's not just the sprays.
And he went back and crept
They happen
in through the
periodically,
front
and
gate
it's
and
changing up,
routed
they're
out
coming
all the
back.
halls and lanes, tunnels, alleys, cellars, mansions,
Yeah,
and
cool.
passages. After that, there were no dwarves left alive inside. And he took all their wealth for himself.
That was a terrible time.
Probably. For that is the
Bee moth.
dragon's way. He's piled it all up in a great heap far inside and sleeps on it for a bed. Well, after that we went away, but we've never forgotten our stolen treasure, and we still mean to
We want our
get
treasure
it
back. Stupid
bring our
smog.
purses home to Small.
Yeah.
Now
Oh, the
we have
mites
the
tickle me.
map and key to the secret
I've dealt with
door,
them.
we shall succeed in
Those,
our
yeah, stupid white moths are horrible.
Kendall, I
Yeah.
should like to know how you got hold of the map.
I didn't get hold of it. I was given it. Your grandfather Thrall
Yeah, it does.
was killed, you remember, in the mines of Moria
Mm.
by Azog the Goblin.
More bees. Well, look at China. They don't have bees there. They sprayed them into semi-extinction.
100 years ago, last Thursday, and has never been seen by you since.
True.
Well, your father gave me this to give to you.
I don't
Boy.
understand.
Well, I found your father a prisoner in the dungeons of the necromancer. And one
Whatever
of
were you doing
Ooh,
there?
the necromancer. I know who he is.
I was finding things out as usual. I tried to save your father, but it was too late. He was witless and wandering, and had forgotten almost everything except the map and the key.
We have long ago paid the goblins of Moria. We must now give a thought to the necromancer.
Don't
The
be
nec-
absurd.
don't
He's an
talk
enemy
about the
quite beyond
necromancer.
The powers of all the dwarves put together. The dragon and the mountain are more than big enough tasks for you.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, what?
Well, I should say that
Yeah.
you ought to go to
Necromancer's
the
in
and have
the-
a look around.
The
After all,
following
there is the
three
side door,
three
and the
books.
dragons must sleep
Don't get ahead of
sometime, I
yourself
suppose.
there.
If you sit on the doorstep long enough, I dare say you'll think of something. Now, what about bed and an early start and all
I
that?
used to spray with a
I'll
really
breakfast
mild
Before we
detergent
go, I suppose,
mixture, mostly
me
water.
our
And that got rid of a lot. It got rid of the
burglar
moths. It gets rid of the moth
And-
eggs.
Isn't sitting
That
on the
actually worked.
doorstep your job? And not to speak of getting inside the door. Hmm? But I agree about
That's
that.
what it did for moths, because I had a big
like
moth problem.
6
They're
eggs
just
with
destroying
my
it. Then, they,
afternoon starting on a journey.
then I got the
Fine.
birds, and the birds wouldn't
Never mind,
let
you
up
don't
because
break.
my neighbor was
How
had a
about you
bird
broke
fight
egg?
feeder right by next to my garden, so I had to give up. I haven't gardened since.
After all the others had ordered their breakfasts
So
without
much work and so
much
much money I put in that little tiny strip of garden.
The Hobbit had to find room for them all, and filled all his spare rooms and made beds
Then
and
my friend,
chairs and sofas
my neighbors
before
kept
he got them
coming
all
over to
stowed
talk to me
and
while I
went
started
to his own
gardening.
little bed.
If a man's gardening, leave him alone.
not
Just
altogether
leave him
happy.
alone. Just watch.
As he lay in bed, he could hear Thorin still humming to himself in the best bedroom next to him.
All over the misty mountains flow dungeons deep.
Yeah, it's good to use for about a half hour a night. If you do this still, I get tired of it.
To find our long forgotten
I'm keeping the
Bilbo
bubbles.
went to sleep with that in his ears, and it gave him very uncomfortable dreams.
Yeah, it is. That was the plan. Okay, that's going to be this chapter. And I'm going to go nighty night. But I love you guys, and thank you for being here. And you know where to find me. I'll be back.